Well, welcome back. Nice weak recovery from the intensity of last time, leaving you where we did. So, catching everyone up, you'd been exploring the Lost Library of Eretria and coming face to face with a number of horrific creatures that really probably didn't belong. Nyah and Faendal got charmed by the buzzing wings of some insectoid versions of these, which saw a fairly long and grueling combat encounter as you fought off varying other ones and managed to put them all down, despite many of you being exposed to a deadly crystal poison that threatened to kill you, because apparently no one could roll above a 10. Upon finishing the fight, you were accosted by a trio of the famous? Used to be famous, anyway, glass masks of the library, who questioned you as to what you were doing here, and seemed to insinuate that they were aware of some new intruders to the library. A tense exchange didn't exactly go to plan, with a poorly timed nat 1 from Faendal, and you were taken down to the basement of the library to face further questioning by the High Curator. In between that, you came face to face with a gigantic, radiant dragon protector of the library, who seemed to be more on the side of just getting rid of you than having you talk to the High Curator, and didn't take kindly to being reminded of his previous life. Eventually, after a tense moment, the heavy mithril door barring the way into the inner vault opened. The glass masks walked you through before jumping clear of you, and you were all blocked in by a wall of force. You came face to face with the High Curator, with an aggressive dragon at your back, leading to some tense... let's say it's a tense questioning under high-stress environment. And because I've decided to start including it, you have been in the library about 20 minutes. Just so you're still aware of your timelines. The current time, if you had a clock on you, I don't know whether Faendal or anyone has a timepiece, is 25 past 9 in the evening. You turned the gate on around 9 o'clock.
Wow.
Just because that may matter to you going forward as to rests and stuff, I feel like you should have that information. But standing before you is a tall male elf, long, neatly groomed black hair reaching down to his shoulders. Sharp, clean-shaven jawline accentuates his stern grey eyes. His blue and white robes, highly detailed with silver threads, show his station as the High Curator. His hands are tucked within large, drooping sleeves, and he stands very tall and proud, like a classic elf, eyeing you all. There have been no visitors here for centuries. Your very presence here places this sanctuary at risk. More so than it already is. I suggest you speak plainly and quickly. Explain how you reached this hidden place.
Does someone else want to take it? Because I've not been having that luck. No?
This is your lifelong dream, Faendal.
Yeah, but I managed to get off everyone I've come across here. What were the questions?
He simply asked, explain how you reached this hidden place.
A lifetime of study. Atlanta.
Do you care to elaborate upon that?
I've spent many centuries, and I've said this now twice before, spent many centuries researching how to get into this library. It's been a lifelong dream of mine to come under its great eaves. And I invented or brought to life a thing called a Dolmen Gate. Admittedly, forced my way in.
You see a flicker of concern or almost confusion about things you've said before he regains that kind of mask of composure. You speak of many things that create further questions. Let's start with the beginning. You claim it was your lifelong ambition to reach here. How did you hear about this place in the first place? This library, as far as we understand it, has been hidden for a long while, at least a few elven generations.
How did I know? How do I know of the library? Oh my god, what?
Doesn't like everyone at the library know about the
Yeah.
library?
Do we know about the fairy tales and stuff?
Okay, yeah, the library descended into folklore. So it was never forgotten, but it became myth and legend. But I suspected there was an element, some nugget of truth within it, and found many clues to prove that.
Some would call such pursuits folly to chase after myths, even in a world as interesting as our own. Did you face opposition to such things?
Much. For much of my life, many have called me crazy. I'm perfectly saying me, but crazy. Especially recently, a lot of backlash. I mean, for some rash actions, but a lot of backlash.
I suppose there is some merit in continuing your pursuits against the common judgment, although it does speak to an obsession that can often lead down problematic paths.
Never known it to be problematic. Never caused any issues.
This library was intentionally hidden and removed from the material plane during a time of crisis in order to preserve the knowledge contained within, and all record of it was, or all record of where we ended up was supposed to be lost and forgotten intentionally. So how did you even find this plane?
I admit I had no clues for a long time, and in fact, fairly recently, thought I had a clue, and it turned out very bad for me, and I lost my memory for a long time. But we discovered, or I discovered, a few clues scattered around the library of the Serenity Library on Tron, if you know that. Obviously, you've been gone millennia. But the library that I am from, scattered around. Someone left them there for me to find, or for someone to find to get to the library. It was not accidental we came here.
Interesting. We have on occasion sent our own beyond this place. Either they desired to no longer protect it, or we wish to understand something.
I believe they were referred to as gifts of the goddess, Eretria. In the readings that I had, they were referred to as the gifts of Eretria. A lens and a gem.
A bit pretentious even for us, but I suppose I see the merit in it by whichever one of our curators decided to do such a thing. I can't imagine they made it easy at the time.
No, I nearly destroyed my library in retrieving them.
You nearly destroyed a library in the pursuit of what was considered at the time a myth.
I knew what I was doing. I was never going to destroy the library, just it may have looked that way. There's some...
Roll a persuasion check.
There's some way of helping Faendal be more convincing.
There might be if you engage in conversation too.
Stop
You're just standing
making
there
me
silently at the minute.
Okay, can I stand up next to Faendal and I'm gonna say it did indeed look like Faendal was endangering the library, but that is only because he did not stop at any given moment to explain what he was doing. So the rest of it looked as though he was in a frenzy, but it turned out he did know what he was doing, and the library was completely fine, and he recovered the information he needed. I'm going to try to look as legal and respectable as possible compared to Faendal.
Faendal, you can roll with advantage.
It's you.
So, normal roll.
Woo!
Hey.
29.
21. I think that's the first time you've rolled rolled in the teens for a persuasion check.
No. For the first time for a while, but I think in my court thing,
You may have done it.
when I did
That's
the
a good point.
transformation,
That's a good point.
but for a long time, I don't think I've ever rolled above it without advantage.
He looks you up and down and just goes, I suppose even in my youth I was prone to such obsessive moments once you felt the thread being pulled. Would expect maybe better from more senior members of study, but youthful at heart, I suppose.
In my defense, 2 days prior, I had no memories. You try having 700 years crammed into your head and keep insane.
I don't believe I'll try it, but thank you. If you don't mind me asking, even after finding space, you mentioned a dolmen gate and the fact that you forced your way into this library. And at the sheer mention of that, you hear Duralitas just growl and stone kind of crack underneath his claws behind you. This place was intentionally warded against even people who managed to find it within the Astral Sea. And yet you managed to find a way in here? Tell me more about this dolmen gate.
I proceed to go on a 2-hour-long lecture on the intricacies of astrophysics. Faendal really misunderstands the question and goes into the intricacies. Do we have a blackboard?
I will remind you, you are not here with the liberty of time.
I don't know how to explain it on yet. It is not a creation of my design or only my design. It's been a theoretical machine mechanism instrument for a fair while. I've spent many years putting one together, experimenting and creating one. Creates a corridor between the planes.
Interesting. So it links two planar points together. I can't imagine.
I believe, in a theoretical sense, it sort of bends the astral sea and planes to their closest, to their minimal points. I think something like that. I think that's how you explain it. Bends the sea to
That
bottoms underneath.
That must take a considerable amount of power and warding to accomplish to contain such a thing. If it were not such a risky endeavour, I would be curious as to its design, implementation, and proper use. You came here via this thing and opened up a doorway at the top of this library. How long will that last?
I do not know.
So you come here with the potential of becoming trapped.
Yes.
Brave.
We do have a warning system in place. Hopefully.
Do not mention the peacock and the horse.
No, it's a warning system. So we will be alerted to when it starts to disintegrate, maybe. But it has never been, well, it has only been used once, and my memory was kind of destroyed of that bit. It has fuel. How long that fuel will last, who knows? But I think a decent amount of time.
Maybe if I do believe you, we will have something to discuss.
Rambear's gonna scuttle behind Faendal and with the front two legs is gonna sort of try and gesticulate alongside Faendal as he's describing this and at the end of his sentences. So just try and really support him.
The giant spider.
Don't worry, the spider is a bear. It's fine.
And I'm going to sit down crisscross applesauce on the floor, which is very funny to watch with 8 legs.
How does that even work?
How does a spider sit down? It has a thorax.
I'm so confused.
Thing.
Oh, I wish someone could draw that. A spider sitting like one of those adorable bears. Anyway, he gives a deeply concerning look, like you're slightly insane. He already kind of believes you're insane. But at the same time, he's not getting any. He's not showing signs that he doesn't believe anything you're saying either.
The type of guy who's seen so much that he can't really say that anything's not true.
Yeah. Things are weird. Circling back. Okay. This dolmen gate, this corridor between planes, poses a considerable risk to both the library and, I assume you're from, the material plane. Can anybody traverse this while it is open?
I do not know.
Do you bear particular wardings or runes or anything that allows you to cross the bridge?
I potentially think that it is completely open. I know that the insects that we have seen, the insectoids that we have fought and helped get rid of, they have attempted to enter the gate.
You see Balthazar, the glass mask, kind of walk up to the High Curator, whose name you still don't know, and kind of like lean in, and you assume say something before the High Curator turns back to you and goes, "It appears we have at least one member of the library keeping watch on that gate to avoid such an event, but if the creatures here desire to walk through it, I don't believe one of our glass masks will stop them. Do you have other means of reaching home, or is that your only way out?"
That is our only way out.
Yeah.
We'll leave it open for now, but it will not remain open for long before we decide to close it ourselves.
It's like a potato spider.
They are burnt. Not black, but they're burnt.
They're crispy.
Yeah, they are rocks. Sorry, what did I next? The spider?
He asked... So, basically concerned about the gate, he asked whether you had another means of getting home, getting back to your plane, to which the answer was no. And he basically followed up with, the gate will remain open for now, but we will shut it if at any point it becomes a threat.
I will say on the other side, on our plane, it was open from within a locked, warded room. We were in a protected study.
Did we close the
We
door?
opened it. I'm pretty sure we did. Like 90% sure we did.
I've got a vague memory of you saying you did, which would be
Yeah, because we didn't want people coming in and shutting it off.
Yeah. So your office is locked and the dolmen room is locked or is closed.
Yeah. It's not easy to get in. It'll take them a little while to get in.
Yeah. And they have no reason to until they try and kick us out tomorrow morning. So there should be no reason for anyone to try and get in.
We're not going to say it out loud, but there's a horse and a peacock defending it.
Horse and peacock against the hordes of aberration. Yeah. Very well, but it does pose a risk, and we will do what is necessary if it is required. This place itself was supposed to be warded and protected, and yet they even made it in here.
Potentially there is another way of us returning, theoretically, we hope. And that is actually the reason the biggest reason that we have arrived at this time. Unless you have other things to discuss.
So you came here with another purpose, not just to find the library?
I wanted to find the library, but my compatriots here would not have come were it just for the library. I have a secret of knowledge to kill it, but we are on a mission also.
Before you finish that sentence, can Balthazar and Faendal both roll me wisdom saving throws, please?
What is this sentence? Essentially, not 20.
Jesus Christ.
24.
You can feel the presence of the sphere. You know where it is. It is within this room, beyond the wall of force, behind the High Curator. But you are controlling yourselves. You are controlling yourselves.
It's the ultimate aim. What can we do? Yes, the material plane and potentially more are in peril.
In peril, how so?
The demigod? Abaddon is threatening to
Straight
return.
up god. Straight
What?
up god. Child of one of the original three gods.
I knew it was a child of that.
Yeah.
He's sealed though right now. Like the sealed god.
Yes, he is still in the abyss.
The sealed god Abaddon is threatening to return. Okay.
Any of you can roll an insight check if you're paying enough attention to the conversation.
Insight.
If you're keeping an eye on the dragon that's behind you, probably not.
22.
Yes, I was looking at you, Bryn.
Bryn is looking at the dragon.
Thrungi's like, if that dragon comes near me, I want its head.
I want to kill.
Can't quite hear you, Bryn.
We can't.
You're
No,
very
I
quiet.
accidentally muted myself.
There we go.
Thrungi's there looking nonchalant with his axe like upside down, leaning on it, and then his tankard in the other. But you can see that his hand isn't fully resting on the haft of the axe. It's actually gripped in his left hand. So he's kind of gripping it like this and then leaning like this with the tankard.
I got you.
So at the moment's notice, he can just swing.
He's got a quick draw on it, if necessary. Yeah. Cool, got you. Sorry, insight checks.
22.
Anyone else?
Mine was a 7.
Yeah, you don't notice yet. For someone with
He's
a relatively
over.
high charisma, you don't get kind of subtle inflections.
Everyone else is the opposite as well. So you can be the charisma and the rest of us can like see the effect.
Yeah, well, I'm used to dealing with like commoners that just like pay attention to me.
Rambear?
15.
15.
15.
Yeah, Rambear and Faendal, you notice it. There is a rather significant flicker of concern that crosses his face. Like, that name is one that he recognizes, and he is troubled by this.
Wanted to get serious out of the gate, because I figured that he would recognize. He has an avatar on the material plane in a man named Zenodis, a vampire that we have faced before, who is collecting, I'm sure you've all heard of them, the entropy spheres of entropy?
Entropic spheres of entropy, varying other terms.
The entropic spheres. Have you heard of them?
I have indeed. In fact, the last time those cursed relics surfaced upon the material plane was the reason we fled here in the first place.
I suspected as much.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Thank you for the advantage. I'm also realizing I've just said that. Have you heard of the entropic spheres? And he's got one behind him.
Yeah, like both.
Playing it real cool.
Yeah, playing it real cool.
It's not a deception check, and you rolled. If you'd failed that wisdom saving throw, that would have been a problem.
Yeah.
You're in full control of your senses at this point, so.
16.
For now.
16. This interrogation isn't over, but we have much to discuss. And the wall of force drops. Come in. Duralitas, back to your duties. And as you walk in further, the mithril door behind you fully seals once again. And again, you cannot see a crack within it. It's like a solid metal door.
Is it just us and the curator, or is the glass mask still with us?
Roll a perception check. No, I'll tell you what, nah, passive perception's enough for this.
Hiding?
Yeah.
23. Yeah.
12 minutes. Alright. This is a very large room. Easily one of the biggest you've been in the library so far. It's a large. It's very open plan. It's not like there's bookshelves or anything in here. But there's a few pedestals and like storage containers of what look like lead or something to that effect dotted around. The odd shelves that are along the walls are full of all manner of items, weapons, pendants. You spot some helmets places, archaic devices that don't quite. You can't quite understand what they would do from the extent of it. Everything is relatively well organized, but it definitely feels cluttered in here to an extent. Like there wasn't meant to be this much stuff stored in here.
I feel like I don't want to cast detect magic in here. I feel like it will.
I mean,
right.
just because what's your passive arcana?
23.
This room hums with magic. You are like standing in the middle of an MRI machine.
Yeah, I have a feeling that every single one of them objects is probably individually the most powerful object we've ever come across.
At the center of the room, this room is quite low lit, but with dark vision, your passive perceptions, Faendal especially. In the center of the room, there's a large device made of gold and platinum with orbiting crystal rings that kind of spin gently and hum melodiously. Roll Arcana.
27.
27. There's elements to this that is very similar to the geomantic amplifier that is inside the tavern at the Serenity Library. It's not quite the same, but it basically has very much dimension magic concepts to it. With a 27, you get the feeling this is quite possibly the thing that is keeping this demi-plane active.
Oh.
And further at the back of the room, Balthazar and Faendal especially are aware of a small pedestal, not far off the ground, that seems to be held within its own containment field, like a wall of force, but more visible. Either side of which stand two further glass masks. And on top of that pedestal is an object, spherical in shape, covered in a thick black cloth. Elsewhere in here, there are a couple of other curators dressed in very similar garb to the High Curator, and a couple more in more demure blue and white outfits that would be standard librarians, you would assume, but they just seem to kind of be keeping their distance from the new people and existing, essentially.
They all seem fairly calm for a library under attack. They sound fairly calm.
Roll insight, if you want. Anyone else can as well.
26.
26.
25.
25. Balthazar and Faendal. There is an air of... Yeah, calmness is a good way to describe it, but it's not... It's more resignation. They're aware that they've been here a while, and there's no point being panicked when panic is long since gone, kind of thing. There's also an element that this is probably a nigh impenetrable room, that they're not exactly worried about anything getting into. You are essentially in a vault, heavily warded with magic, within a library run by magicians. Not many safer places to be.
With so many people, is there only one visible entrance to it? The door we've just come through.
It's not even visible, but there are visible entrances now.
Roll perception.
That's a 6.
That's a 6. You can't spot any other exits, but then again, you can't actually spot the exit you walked out of. The door fits that neatly. If there are other exits here, they're pretty well disguised. Well, I suppose I should introduce myself if we're going to discuss things further. I am High Curator Feyrin Gailendar. I have been the High Curator of this library for... well... I'm not entirely sure how much time has passed on your plane. Time behaves of its own accord here. But I was High Curator of the library for a century at the point of the last rise of the cult of Abaddon, and made the decision to take us to where we are now. I will warn you, if you try anything having got into this vault, you will be met with a swift end. But you have earned a conversation at least, especially since it seems a peril we had hoped had disappeared and we could return from has once again risen.
Do we know how long it was since the last cataclysm thing?
So the cataclysm itself is a couple of millennia ago.
And when the library disappeared was...
And the library disappeared during that history.
The only person we know that was alive at the time is Rambear's dad. Janet.
So he must be, what, 3 millennia old at least?
You also know for a fact, elves generally live to about top end 700. Faendal is like
Faendal,
680.
yeah. Faendal, I think Faendal's over 700.
I can't remember.
He's reached 700. Elves live to a max of about 750, and Faendal's in.
And this guy looks younger than Faendal comfortably.
This guy's millennial.
He's middle-aged elven looking, essentially. And apparently he's been alive 3,000 years. He doesn't know that.
Are there any like face creams around the room? Any like beauty regimes you might have been sticking to?
Roll perception. Might be.
I'm gonna. Rambear wants to look this good. It's a shame that I'm not good at perception. Yeah, 8.
Highest passive perception in the party. Can't roll perception.
I have a +4 and I never roll above a 10.
The spider's better.
Need to get proficiency in that. You don't spot any. As I say, while there is a butt ton of very pricey, shiny, fantastic looking things in here, there is also crates that look like they contain food and those kind of things. To that extent, there are wizards in here. They can make food out of magic, but that's there.
One of them might know Magnificent Mansion. Every day they all retire to demi-plane and a demi-plane.
Okay. He leads you over to where there is a small table to the side of the room, relatively central to the room. When we left the material plane, we did so in the hopes to preserve knowledge to take it back to the material plane if the war was won. Your very existence here and the moments we've reappeared briefly, or members of our library have reappeared briefly, tell us that a victory of sorts was achieved, but we have waited for a opportune moment to return. It seems that is either long past us or we were logical in not returning. What you speak of this avatar of Abaddon who is searching for the spheres once again. How many has he gathered so far?
He has collected 3 that we know of.
That is deeply concerning. One such sphere in the hands of a questionable individual is danger enough to the world. 3, their intentions are quite clear.
We have managed to gather one of them and hide it away and protect it in the safest place we know of on the material plane.
That is something at least, but do not think that he won't do his best to reach that one too. Even the safest places are penetrable to those persistent enough to find them. And he throws a glance to you, Faendal.
That is part of our plan, I suppose, is that we wish to gather the ones he has not, and safely stow them away together so we may make a final stand without him gaining more power. He already has 3 that's dangerous enough. If he collects any more, he may potentially be unstoppable.
You claim your plan is to stow them away. What is your plan if you do succeed? If you do defeat this Xenadis, what is your plan then?
I have not
Or ahead.
Ahead.
At the moment, we're concerned enough with even trying to succeed against him.
Potentially the cycle will just begin again and we will hide them again. Much like before.
Interesting. Give me a moment, please. He stands up and goes and talks over to one of the other glass mask who brought you down here, not Bellatar, but the other one. and has a conversation with him. And you see that glass mask head over to the door you entered through. The door opens and he exits out. No, wait, he wouldn't go that way. He goes to the opposite side of the room. Sorry. And you see a much smaller door open for him. But it's almost like the door doesn't fully open. The metal shifts, but there is another magical field or something there that he seems to kind of phase through before exiting out, and the metal shuts again. Faerin comes back to you. You spoke of a cycle, and it reminded me of something. There was a prophecy written by, at the time, considered a madman that, I don't know, may apply here. Hopefully. Our man returns. Very well. We were aware the spheres were not destroyed. The nature of what did happen to end the apocalypse is not truly known to us, but we're aware that at least it was thwarted in the short term. In fact, one of the spheres came to this isle, and we felt it best to intervene much in the way that you have, and sequester it away in a place unreachable by those who would seek to use it. However, that situation appears to have become untenable recently. This demi-plane is not as stable as we hope it would be. The creatures who you have successfully seemed to deal with, in no small part, also Balthazar, our captain, tells me, have destabilized this plane, and we do what we can to maintain it, but we can only keep this plane here for so long. And indeed, containing the sphere on its own is extremely taxing. There are only so many of us who can do both. Its presence within this space is causing its own problems to the planar device. What do you know about this sphere in particular?
I have my suspicions that it is the Rift Sphere? What was that?
Rift Sphere was the first one you found. Rift Sphere was the one that got stolen from you.
My favourite one.
You believe this is the neutral sphere?
The neutral sphere. Which is that the antimatter one? That we found a fake one?
Yes, this sphere, its very presence is an anathema to magic, which is why containing it is extremely exhausting. We keep its presence subdued enough, but I fear that it being here is the reason that these crystal spawn, or whatever they are, were able to penetrate the library, and it poses a complex threat to us here.
I do wonder if perhaps protecting the sphere of anti-magic with magic might be a bit of a contradiction.
It is the best option we have, I'm afraid. Unless you are willing to offer a better solution.
We have on our side the support of the you will not know the Adventurers Guild of
the Guild. The Guild existed at the point of the Cataclysm.
We have the support of the Adventurers Guild with Allion. We have manpower and steel. And some magic. And some other stuff. But I believe one route section is not as good as a combination.
Roll a persuasion check.
Anyone want to help my crap roll? Nyah, come on with the charisma.
What'd you roll?
Spider is clicking. Spider is clicking gives me advantage, right?
You.
Spider
Yeah,
go.
No.
Very convincing. It's a 10.
It's 10. I do not deny that a better solution needs to be found, and ultimately, the current solution is failing slowly. But I do not yet know or trust you enough to hand you something with the very imbued with the very essence of the greatest threat to reality.
Are you at this library equipped to defend the sphere should Xenadis come?
We will do what we can. Our glass masks are well equipped to defend this library from all manner of threats, but we are diminished, and we face the additional problem of the spawn. We are focused on surviving.
We managed to sneak in. Xenadis is far more powerful at the moment.
He has 3 spheres already. Do you think you can face the might of 3? And an army of the undead. He commands an army of the undead.
And he is coming.
He's a higher vampire.
Roll a persuasion check, Nyah.
Bitch slapping.
18. Bitch slap the Supreme Curator.
Iconic. What was the roll, sorry?
18.
18. I propose to you this. Aid us in subduing the threat that currently threatens this library. We will stay here until such time that the world is safe for the return of the knowledge contained within here. And I will trust your intentions are good enough to protect this sphere from falling into the hands of others. This way, that should you fail, this library will continue to exist even if the material plane falls.
I think
Our way back home would be
the portal.
taking the whole library with us, basically.
No, he's saying that he's not going to bring the library back.
No, but once our Dolmen Gate closes, the only way back would be with the library.
But then not returning the library.
We have potential means to send you back if we so wish.
Okay, so we're not trapped here when that gate closes.
Not necessarily.
I think that you have made a wise decision and that we should. Yeah. We will find methods of protecting the sphere.
So we have an agreement. You will help us deal with the threat to this library as it stands. And in return, we will hand you the sphere and you will depart.
It makes sense as well to protect this library. It's clearly a large source of knowledge.
I would like to return one day.
We wouldn't want it to fall.
Hopefully your return will signal it is safe for our return to the material plane. Very well. Balthazar? And Faerun stands up. She goes, "I wish you the best of luck. I'll send our best with you." And Balthazar comes over and begins talking to you, and takes you a short distance away. She goes, "We have identified the location of their incursion into this library. However, it is too great of a threat to risk the few defenders that remain here to deal with. It seems you have volunteered yourselves to deal with it. Now, we can go now, if you are short on time, but I also feel like some of you bear wounds and scars that would better be doing patched up first."
Second, he says bear. Rambear becomes a bear again.
You see him instinctively go for that black glass sickle that he has, and then gently puts it down.
Rambear's so excited for a nap. Rambear's gonna say hi enthusiastically. Hey.
So the spider was your mount, yes?
The spider's our friend, the bear. Rambear, say hello.
Hi.
Not
What's his
doing
name?
much to
Balthazar.
trust.
Hi, Balthazar. I'm Rambear.
A pleasure. Now, question for the group. What type of rest are you wanting to take here, bearing in mind you have a ticking clock?
I'm just saying, don't negate. Do we have other ways home?
Well, he said
Potentially.
Well, he said he sends people over. He sends people to our plane occasionally.
We guarantee. Can he send us to the same place?
I'll tell you what, roll me...
Are they one at
Okay, what's your question, Chris?
I want to guarantee that we can be sent home. Sent to where we came from.
Same plane.
Same plane and... Same place, ideally.
You call Faerun over and he responds with... When I said we potentially had the ability to send, there are two pressing concerns with why I hesitate to guarantee anything. Firstly, you claim to want to return to where you came from. We do not know where you came from. Any sort of planar travel requires knowledge of where you are sending the person. We could get you close. We know Kiron well enough, but I'm sure times have changed. Secondary, you will be holding an artifact designed to prevent magic from working. There is an inherent risk that may cause you to end up in a place less than favourable. How this would affect your gate itself, I do not know, but either are a risk. One apparently has a power source keeping it open, the other is a singular use spell with a single charge.
Maybe it is better to just teleport rather than... If I have a bead of force in there...
The bead of force hasn't gone in yet. The bead of force was your emergency device.
Well, it's still, if we don't go back there, it's just a bead of force lying there on the ground.
Then maybe
Faendal. I don't think you understand.
A short rest.
We could go and get Ram.
I was thinking we probably should just teleport straight to the Citadel.
Why would we do that when we can go and get Ram?
Yeah, let's go right to where we think Zenedith is.
What kind of rest are you taking? Now, I will just...
Time is weird.
Just because I've genuinely considered this, a short rest does fix a lot of your problems. Rambear gets wild shapes back, Balthazar gets key points back, Faendal can get spell slots back. You all get hit points back. Or, you can long rest and get fully tooled up. Dolmen Gate may close.
Probably definitely closes.
Eviction gets closer.
Okay, I have a quick question about Hero's Feast.
Hero's Feast lasts for 24 hours.
No, but like, could we, in theory, consume it in our rest?
Oh.
You know what? I'd say yes.
Because
it's not an intense activity eating a Hero's Feast. And a short rest is just you taking an hour to chill out, bind some wounds, eat some food, and that's essentially what you're doing with a Hero's Feast.
It's not like we're stuck. I always imagine it like you're literally just
No. You
the whole hour.
You take an hour eating a meal, essentially. It's like
You take 10 minutes to cook it and an hour to chill out and have a picnic.
I think that would be perfectly fine.
Okay.
If you wanted to do it.
Not to mention, 12 people get to have it, so we can invite all the glass masks and curators.
There's
The dragon.
3 glass masks in here, 3 curators, 2 librarians, and then you 5.
Okay.
So that's 12. That's 13.
Yeah, but the librarians don't count. They're not real.
That's rude to the
No, they're not
librarian.
monitors, they're librarians.
Yeah, no, but like they're like the players.
Okay, fine.
Wow.
As
Oh,
Nyah
curate.
would put it.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I
but
would
they,
never say that.
they wouldn't be coming with us to do any of the fighting, would they?
No. Bellatar is. You have him
Yeah.
alongside you.
But some of
Alright.
these glass masks don't have it.
So the question is, if we would rather have Hero's Feast, or the chance of a... It's not quite quick getaway, but I also have Fart Cloud, which I've been saving.
The Hero's Feast consumes the bowl.
It does consume the bowl, yes. I did buy this bowl specifically for Hero's Feast.
Just in case you want to save it for another time.
There'll be more bowls. At this rate, there might not be more Nyahs, though.
Let's see, let's roll an attack roll at Nyah. That's right, no, but
Should we do short?
Short on a feast makes sense,
short and a feast.
I think.
Okay. Let's roll that up before we go to break. So people can take hit dice that they want to spend. Assuming you haven't used any via special abilities, Thrungi.
Yeah.
The only problem I see is that I think Balthazar is running really no one's boss, aren't you?
But I've got cantrips and I've got a sword. I'm still
God.
vaguely...
Do you have a 3rd level spell slot?
Yes.
Look at
As
him
long as
being a
that's
proper cleric, reserving the 3rd level spell slot.
I've got a 3rd and a 1st, which is useless.
That backup 3rd level spell slot is known as the Nyah spell slot.
Why?
The 3rd
Yeah.
level is you get another Kamehameha at some point. Like you killed her demon sword thing.
Oh yeah.
So,
I've never thought it, but that's brilliant. Cleric monk with guided bolt is literally that. Yeah. Huh. Cool. Okay. Roll your hit die. Spend your short rest. Faendal, I'm assuming you're using charges of.
oh. Out again a 6th level spell slot with arcane recovery.
No, you can't. Max 5th level.
That's fine. So
And
recover.
Emma, do you want to roll 2d10 for hit dice gained by Hero's Feast?
Yeah, 1 second.
1 second. 1 second, not 2 first. 2 first. Recovering 1
It's
for.
been so long since we rested, I actually don't remember how to short rest anymore.
Literally at the top of your character sheet, there's a button for short rest.
It
Oh, we have
also,
so many hit die.
unless you tick it, will automatically roll your hit dice for you.
I will also, while I'm there, and hopefully without. I hope that no one's going to, like, the library people are going to explode using this. I'm also going to use a little bit of charge of my Paragon Stone.
That'll be perfectly fine. You know that that whole conflict with Aradelis happened after the Cataclysm
I
anyway,
thought
so
it
they
was.
don't actually know what it is.
It's just a cool little trinket.
Don't forget, when you're rolling hit die, you also add your Constitution modifier to everything rolled, for every dice rolled.
That's very useful to
An
know.
important thing to remember. So
that...
it should be functionally possible to regain all of your hit points by rolling your hit die, is basically the premise.
Rolled 8.
What, 8 total or just an 8?
No, I rolled 8 hit dice, and I used 1 in the last fight.
Cool. So I'll also remind you, you only regain half your hit die back on a long rest. So
I'm using half my hit die.
However, I was under a third of my hit dice. So
Yeah, so if you use six hit, on a long rest, we'll gain 6 hit die.
Okay, but for example, that we only gain 1 back. So
If you're long rest, you gain half your max.
half your max back. So it's not like that frog. It's not like the frog jumping half distance problem. It is half your max.
So if you use 6, you will gain all of them back on a long rest.
Okay, in that case, I'm using like the full half.
I'm using 6 straight off.
But even 12 extra.
Right, guys. See you soon.
Wait. 12 extra hit points.
Right. Yeah, we will break there and come back for your prove yourselves mission to the library with the guard captain. But yes, see you after the break. Well, welcome back. Everyone's had their own heroes feasts in real life, hopefully. At least some of us have. Picking back up, you are in the Grand Vault of the Lost Library of Eretria, just recuperating from your short rest. Sorry, just making a note. With Balthazar, who I assume has also consumed the feast. That bumps his hit points up to that. And you are preparing to head out. Is there anything else anyone would like to do?
Can we change what's equipped? Or what we're attuned to in a short rest now? It's a long rest.
Yes, you can. It takes It takes 1 hour to attune to an item, so you can switch out one essentially on a short rest.
All you people with multiple magical things to attune to.
Should I swap out my cloak? No, I like my display speech. Oh, I can't. It's cursed.
It's cursed. That ain't going anywhere.
You got that? I'm not going to swap out my staff. Probably is the smarter thing to do, but I like my new staff.
If that's everything, Balthazar stands up to go.
Oh, how long does it take to attune?
1 hour. And you've
I can't attune to an item. Made down, then unattune from it.
Yeah. Well, you could unattune from it, but then you'd just be down an attuned item. So.
No. Yeah, I'm good.
Balthazar stands up and goes, well, I honestly don't know what we're walking into. That corner of the library is full of horrific things that we don't dare go near now. But whatever it is, it's got to be big, and it's got to be powerful to have got through our wardings. So, you prepared?
Do we have anything to carry that we need to carry? I could cast some rituals, but 2 of my 4 rituals are carrying things.
I travel pretty light, friend.
I'm good.
I guess I could try communing with nature.
If you want.
Do I want? So the question is, I guess, more in a druidic sense. Does Rambear sense that there is nature here? Like, do these sort of, what are they called, crystal somethings?
Crystal spawn
Crystal
is the term they've been given.
Spawn. They feel natural to Rambear.
Roll a nature check.
Oh, 10.
10. That's good enough. They're definitely not natural things.
Yeah, okay, let's not commune with nature then. Probably going to be a waste of a spell slot. Yeah, that's my rituals.
Well then. Be prepared. And he heads towards the door you originally entered through. Follow me? The door once again opens with that kind of iris effect, and the radiant light of a very pissed off dragon kind of bathes you as you begin to walk out. He doesn't turn to regard you at this point, but as you're walking past, he sees you with Balthazar. He goes, "So are they leaving then?" Balthazar responds, "No, apparently we found use for them, so... Apparently they seem to be the hero types." And Duratas just kind of growls a little bit and just says, backs into this. "I'll be here, I suppose." And Balthazar leads you back up the stairs, away from the basement and into the grand foyer where you originally ran into the glass mask. Can everyone roll stealth for me, please?
Yeah, I got an 11. I'll be back in a sec.
Thank you.
That's all.
Stephen?
6.
6. Nyah?
5.
Rolling stealth.
Rambear?
14.
14.
16.
You are not subtle about going up. Nyah's armor, which technically should be at disadvantage, but she's rolled a 5 anyway.
So I roll again, actually.
Roll again, just in case it's a 1.
No, it's definitely a 5. It's a shame that was a 19.
It's a 5.
I don't know why I
end
don't
up
use. I still have the bottle.
Oh yeah.
I still have the clank
Old
bottle.
asshole bottle. Bellatar is silent as he steps up. Like he's on the balls of his feet, making no noise as he kind of lightly springs up the stairs. The rest of you, however, make a little bit of noise. And Bellatar kind of looks back and just goes, "Let's hope they didn't hear that then." And then to lead you forwards. So the corridor off to the right, essentially. As you've come up the stairs, corridor closest to where you came up the stairs. The one which had a few kind of crystals on the wall that you noticed, Balthazar. Bellatar leads you that direction. And as you look round into that corner, there is no normal light down here. However, there is a very kind of off glow being animated from a plethora of crystals that are lining the walls, which seem to bend at almost non-Euclidean angles when you look at the actual crystal design. And they just are like gathering on the walls and on the floor. Balthazar turns to you and goes, "Watch your feet. Don't walk into any of the dusts. And pray to God they didn't hear your loud armor and loud dwarf."
Look, I'm just here to kill stuff. I don't really frankly care if they hear me. Just means they come to me rather than I go to them.
You do.
As Thrungi says these protests out loud, you hear a familiar sound at this point of scuttling legs. Dozens of them coming from along the corridor towards you. What do you want to do?
Ready a ray of frost?
Thrungi prepares to charge.
Okay.
Ready an elemental ball.
I'd also like to ready a moonbeam.
Ready a moonbeam?
Moonbeam.
Coming out of the dark, crawling along the walls, along the floor, dancing over these crystals, come 6 of the crawling types straight towards you. You held readied actions, so feel free to unleash. Balthazar, you held yours first.
17 to hit.
That hits. Fairly sure. Yeah, comfortably.
14 cold damage. Frost damage, cold damage. What's it actually? No, I rolled it twice.
Cool. Thrungi, you're charging in.
Yep.
Make me a acrobatics check.
15.
15. You take... Whew, max. Wow. 12 points of slashing damage as you like just barrel through and these crystals scrape along your arm. And can you make a Constitution saving throw? It is a poison effect, so it would be an advantage for you, I believe.
Yeah.
We're immune to poison.
You are immune to poison because of Hero's Feast. Never mind.
You feet.
Thrungi will have gone into a rage as he charged.
Technically can't do that with a held action. Because the rage is a bonus action. You hold an action, not your turn.
True.
But I'm also giving you the movement, so I don't care. So yeah,
Right,
half that to 6.
Cool.
And you run at one of them, while Rambear you run a moonbeam. Corridor is not that wide, so you can probably catch 2 of them in it. So I'll just roll those while Bryn's rolling his attacks. What's your spell save?
1 sec.
That's a 1 and a 2 on the dice. It doesn't matter.
Yep, they don't make it.
Roll damage.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that will be a bit of 12 points of damage.
To
I'm
each
really
one,
glad I went reckless, Gath.
Yeah?
A 4 and a 1.
On the first attack.
Yeah.
For a total of?
14.
That still hits.
I know, I'm glad I went reckless, otherwise it would have been a 1.
Yeah. Roll damage.
5 plus 9, so 14 points of damage.
Yeah.
Second attack is a 27.
Yep.
And it's just 10 points of damage.
Splayed out. Blood covers up some of the crystals. You're fine. Bellatar sends forth like from the crystal in his hand, just kind of whips out his hand. You see a burst of kind of greyish light burst across and hit one of them, and do nothing. So, but that's that.
I got an 18. I got an 18 on my elemental bolt.
Cool. That hits. Roll damage for it.
20 damage of cold.
You see one of them kind of completely frost up, but then like still like drag its claws towards you, still coming towards you. They're going to get a round of attacks in now. They completely descend upon you, so this is just going to be random as to who gets attacked. Thrungi definitely gets attacked by something. The rest of them will be random. Thrungi went reckless, so the first one against him, just because it's there. Miss on the first one. This is going to happen all over again, isn't it? 13. 17.
Sorry, armor class is 18.
Last one hits. With advantage, still can't do shit. 8 points of piercing damage, half to 4 for you, Thrungi.
Yep.
The next 3, because Thrungi did kill 1, so there's only 4 in total, so the next 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 with Bellatar, 6 is a reroll. Faendal, you get 1 coming at you. These aren't at advantage because they don't have pact actions close. That is an 11 with its bite.
I cast shield.
It leaps off the floor towards you with its mandibles coming for your face, and you quickly throw up the shield, and it clamps down onto the shield and then starts trying to like clamber around the shield to get you with its claws and tail. That is a 9, a 22,
No.
and a 21 with the last 2 attacks.
Wait for the shield.
That is 3 points of slashing damage as one of the claws just gets around the shield and like rakes down your arm. And
how many?
3 points of slashing and 4 points of piercing damage as the tail then whips around the other side of the shield and just gets you into the thigh. Next one. 1, 2, 3. Bellatar is a 4. 3. Rambear, you've got 1 coming at you. That is an 18 with the bite. Sorry, I missed that.
Oh, sorry, on the money.
On the money. It does 6 points of piercing damage, and you're immune to frighten, so it can't frighten you with its bite. Claw's gonna miss. Second claw's gonna miss. Tail's gonna miss. So it like lamps onto your shoulder and then like starts trying to like get into your armor with its claws and tails, and it's just hitting the armor solidly the entire time. And the last one. 1, 2, Balthazar, 3, 4, Nyah, 5, 6. Balthazar, that's a 2 for Balthazar, so 4 attacks at you. Yeah. That's correct. That is a 13.
Miss.
16.
Miss.
18.
That hits.
And final attack is even higher. It's steadily got, like, it increased by 2 each time, kind of thing. So 1 claw gets through your defenses for 4 points of slashing damage. And the piercing gets in for 4 as well, as another like claw tail just like stabs into one in like the tail gets in between your ribs as the claw like slashes across your chest. That is the end of their turn. For the sake of brevity, they don't have a lot of hit points left. The remaining ones, you very quickly then just dispatch them entirely between you, Bellatar, and everyone. Moonbeam does need concentration checks, Sam.
That is true. I forgot.
2 DC 10 concentrations. No, it's only 1. It's only 1.
Oh no, concentration is...
Constitution saving throw.
Okay. I have nothing for that.
Moonbeam.
That's one failed.
Drops. I'm afraid. Bellatar looks at you right. Okay, now do we understand the purpose of silence? Follow me. and he begins to head down the corridor. Can everyone make me an acrobatics check, please? As you are avoiding the crystals being having been told do not touch them. Bellatar rolls really high.
You've got an excuse. You're in like half an hour.
Yeah.
Balthazar.
15.
15. You take 3 points of slashing damage, essentially. Faendal. You take 6 points of slashing damage. Nyah.
9.
5 points of slashing damage. Rambear.
We're all full of pie. 10.
4 points of slashing damage. Thrungi.
11.
2 points of slashing damage.
Yeah, we're all full.
If we hadn't had a short rest, I would literally be dead.
Bellatar, meanwhile, is like nimbly like pirouette dancing between these like a ballet dancer, fully like composed and shifting around them, and then he just sees you like stumbling through at various points, losing your balance, striking your claws, your shoulder against some of these crystals on the wall. Rambear doesn't look where they're going and puts their foot down on a crystal. That hurts like fuck. But you do well enough to stay silent. As you are walking in this corridor, Rambear, you would notice it mostly. It starts to get warm down here. And eventually, Bellatar leads you to a door that there is a sickly red glow coming from underneath the door. He's like, I'll be honest, I do not know what lies beyond this door. But if it's anything like we faced before, it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be easy. So be ready for whatever's inside. Are you ready? And he swings open the door, steps through, and a blast of heat hits you as the door opens. This room is sweltering. You look inside and it hurts your eyes to look inside. This room is bent wrongly, and the very fabric of it feels fragile and frayed. But a radiant heat is exuding around it. Do you enter?
Yeah, we got to.
Yeah, we completely have an option.
It's really, really, really hot. Like, too hot.
It's not like the desert hot.
Yeah.
It's like standing in it's like standing in a blacksmith's forge.
Can I thermal cube to cool it down?
Yes?
Yeah. I will activate my thermal cube to create a nice, farming 30 degrees.
Can everyone roll initiative? That is Faendal's first action.
My turn.
Roll
Oh my
initiative.
god, what? That's pretty fair. I'll take that.
Bellatar is rolling so well.
Everyone else is like, it's too hot.
I haven't rolled below an 18 for Bellatar so far.
Damn.
Good to have on our team.
Yeah.
I actually
25 to 20.
22.
21.
Thrungi, what were you, sorry?
30-20.
30-20. Wow, nice work, guys. 20 to 15. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. 15 to 10.
13. Oh, Sarah.
10 to 5?
Sarah, no!
Less than 5?
Oh.
Amazingly,
That
still
one.
faster than whatever you're fighting in here. Well, Bellatar goes first. You see him enter into the room and just issue a comment of, "Dear gods," and then he is still reacting to the room, but what you... Logically, any of you can enter in relatively quickly. What you see is him essentially phase out of this plane. He essentially goes invisible, you stop seeing him.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. What can we see? What does the doorway see like?
You don't have a great vision in here. As I said, this room, you have no idea what this room was. But whatever is in here, you hear this deep rumbling. It's hard to... Rumbling bass note just emanating from the room, like there is a giant creature in this room somewhere. Faendal, it's your turn. Do you still want to do the cube?
I am fumbling for my cube and activating my cube. Way too hot.
You activate the cube. Do you stay outside the room for now?
No, everyone's coming with me. I don't see any danger. It's just going into the room, isn't it? There's no creatures like that I can see.
You
activate the cube. Come on, guys. Go to a nice balmy 35 degrees.
35 degrees is not
really
nice.
hot, actually.
Have you been at 35 degrees?
Blacksmith's board is like 40. So 40 odd. It will be slightly cooler.
Faendal, the moment you step into the room, you see what Balthazar saw, and you realise why he probably did what he did. There is a gigantic, horrific-looking worm-like creature covered in chitinous plates, red lava-like blood or something flowing beneath these plates, exuding the heat out into the room. A giant maw of horrific size that could easily swallow all of you in one bite if it wanted to. Just waiting there.
What did he do? He teleported away? That's what the spirit was?
It did not look like a teleport.
Pretty sure as hell ain't there.
But he's not in the room with me now. I've gone in the room.
You cannot see him in the room right now.
At the very least, he might have gone in the room.
Image in the chat for you.
Oh my god, here we go.
Thank you. Also, sorry, can you spell the name of Failing Galandar?
Yeah, I can. It's
Also, maybe make easier to spell names. It's a suggestion.
I'm not having a character called John.
John. Oh, John's hard as well. There's like 8 different spellings.
That is true. I'll put it in in-game chat for you.
Thank you.
Faerin Gilendar. But that is what you're facing. Faendal, you activate the thermal cube. What do you do upon seeing this? You've used like 15 feet
of back very slowly out again.
So just straight back out the room.
Guys, this is it's big. It's big.
How big?
Big.
What, is it like the room?
Big.
That creature fills half this room. And this room is fairly large.
Big. Big. Point in the room.
For official stats, it is a gargantuan creature. So it's a 25 foot by 25 foot space.
So not less than 10 meters by 10 meters.
But we've dealt with big before. What's so scary about this one?
Faendal,
what does it look like?
It's a Faendal. It is Balthazar. He has told you there is a giant fucking thing in here. What are you doing?
I'm gonna go and have a look. I want to go see it by myself.
You step into the room, see this fucking thing, and it is now aware people are entering this room, and its giant head begins to unfurl from its body and just glares at you, and you feel the heat wash over you just from its presence.
Is there any sort of cover in this room?
No.
Nothing.
Yeah, you don't have a real clue what this room was.
No. I'm gonna fire a ray of frost.
A ray of frost. Make an attack roll for me.
Oh boy, that was bad.
Old.
11. 13, rather. 13.
13.
Can't do maths.
Hits one of the plates, leaves a small layer of frost, which very quickly melts.
I'm gonna run back out of the room.
Thrungi.
Did we make a mistake?
There is. Yeah, there's no cover in there. Nowhere to hide.
Okay, just to confirm, it hasn't yet been dawn, correct?
No, it's mid
The concept of dawn in a demi plane is a weird one, but in terms of your home plane, it is not. No.
Okay, so here's my question:
Middle of the night.
How does the axe work?
When did you use it?
I used it earlier in this fight.
I believe you used it when you jumped off the stairs against the buzzing insectoid creatures, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, that was like an hour ago. It has not been dawn.
That's fine. I was just checking if it had been dawn in this plane.
There's no sun in this plane for there to be a dawn.
I can ask.
The one viewpoint you had of the outside world was in that observation room, and it was just pure black. Not even starlight, just black.
That's fine. That was my assumption, but I wanted to ask for to confirm.
Yeah, I was just giving you the full details of it. That was all. But yes, what do you do? These lot have run away from a giant creature that you haven't seen yet.
Thrungi just literally just runs in, just going, yeah!
You run in, turn to the side where it is, and this giant hulking behemoth of a creature, rivaling the mighty Kraken for its sheer rarity, impossibility to beat, and deadliness, is staring you in the face.
Yeah.
And he charges. And he uses his last rage of the day.
Feels appropriate.
Which I feel is wrong. I don't think I've used 4.
I think you only get 3?
I get 5 rages.
You've been pretty laissez-faire with them.
He's just a very angry dwarf.
Didn't you just use one?
I used one because I thought it was earlier because I thought it was going to be a bigger fight than it was. But I didn't
use one when you did the axe
I
being
didn't
bigger.
think I'd used 3 in the last session.
You used...
There were 2
You
sessions.
used 2 in the original session here, because you used 1 against the goats, one against the rams, 1 against the ghost-like things.
Yeah, I
Then
agree.
you used 1 last session. So yeah, you would have only have used 3.
Yeah, for some reason I have 4. I had 3 ticked when I came into the session, so I must have done a long rest at some point.
He wouldn't have used 1 at the Serenity Library at any point.
No. But 2 in the first session in the library.
1 last session.
1 in the last session. 1 just now against the small git things.
Yes, that's right. You used it against the small crawlers. You said you were going into a rage.
Yeah, no, I agree to that one, but I thought...
So that's then 4, and then this is your 5th. That does work.
I thought last session we fought the spider creature things.
No, so you used 1 against the rams, 1 against the tapestry guys, 1 against the bug creatures as you leapt off the stairs, and then 1 against the bug creatures literally about 12 seconds ago.
Guys, I forgot about. Fine, no, that makes sense.
Yep,
cool.
we're good. But you are wielding a giant axe against a giant creature. This is everything you've ever dreamed. Let's roll some damage.
Reckless.
Yeah! That's what we're here for.
26.
That
I'm not
hits.
breaking magic.
Let's try again.
20 points of damage.
20 points of damage. Cool.
23.
That hits.
Another 20 points of damage. That's my turn.
Hewing into these like large plates and cracking them open as some of its blood spills over you. Its blood is not infernally hot to cause fire damage, but it is warm and makes you feel alive. Rambear, you're up. Nyah, you're on deck. Thrungi has yelled and is doing things. He hasn't run away.
He's not run back. Yeah, Rambear kind of wants to see what feeling a bit left out, you know. I want to see what's going on in the funky room.
Nope.
You know, when all your friends are like, oh, don't watch that video, it's too scary, and you're like, well, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
It's Rambear at this moment.
Right, let's go. What are you doing?
Yeah. So in my head, I know because of Hero's Feast, I can't technically be frightened, but I am frightened. very frightened.
You're immune to the frightened condition. You are still allowed to be scared. You have magical bravery.
You know what? I've got a semi-game plan. I'm gonna cast Moonbeam. Again.
Let me know how close are you to this creature. So, this room in its full length is 50 feet. This creature takes up half of the room. And you enter the door 10 feet from it. You can back up.
So the maximum distance away from it is 10 feet.
The maximum distance away from it is 25 feet, that kind of borderline. But yeah, walking into the room, you are 15 feet from it.
Okay, I cast Moonbeam and I walk away.
Fair enough. That is a Constitution saving throw for it.
Please, let's see.
That is a 3 on the dice for a 13.
No. Sorry.
So it takes how much damage of what type?
That will be radiant damage. And it will be 2d10. Oh, it's not so bad. For 12.
12. So you literally entered the door, came in, saw it, and went, Moonbeam! Bring down on it. Cool. Rambear and Thrungi, as this moonbeam comes down on it, elements of it reflect off its carapace and expand into the room of what it's already lighting up, and you both take 12 points of radiant damage.
What? Sorry, Thrungi.
Have a reflective carapace. Oh no.
What did you do then, Rambear?
Sorry. Bonus action, I'm gonna cast Spirit Totem by the door.
It's the radius of 30 feet on the Spirit Totem, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
so
I'm not even going to bother drawing it on my tiny map because it fills the room, so you're fine.
So yeah, this will be... Yeah, I think we need Bear right now, to be fair. So this will be... 17 temporary hit points and advantage on strength checks and saves.
17 temporary hit points, everyone. That is on top of everything you got from Hero Sleeves, don't forget. Do you stay in the room? Do you leave? Where'd you go?
Yeah, I'm gonna casually sidestep out.
Just jumping back and forth out. Cool, Nyah, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to step into the room, look at this creature, take a tiny step back, then remember I can't be frightened, so I take a step forward.
I ate earlier, so I can't be frightened.
And take a deep breath, and I'm going to channel my divinity. And I'm going to do my Vow of Enmity as a bonus action.
Yeah.
So I have advantage in attack rolls for a minute.
Yep, you do.
And then I'm just gonna run at it like a stupid woman and try and attack.
Swing away, my friend. Just to be clear, this creature sheds dim light in a 20-foot radius, so this room is fairly well lit. So Nyah can see. It's the critical point.
It's either a 23 or a 23. So 23
does hit. Roll damage.
That is.
If you right click, you can do it with advantage.
7.
Also, make sure you tell me how much is radiant damage and how much is slashing damage.
Okay. 7 slashing and 8 radiant.
Cool. You and Thrungi each take 8 points of radiant damage. As you come down and your weapon is coated in radiant power, you hit it, that refracts off and just blasts you and Thrungi.
I think you bring up a problem. You can't fight this thing.
Wait, so I'm gonna hold my second attack then, and because every attack I do radiant. I can't help it. So I'm gonna not attack again.
Punch?
Do my punches have radiant?
Officially, no, because punches aren't weapon attacks.
I'm not gonna punch and try and almost worm.
Shield bash?
Shield would be an improvised weapon, it would be 1d4. It's an improvised weapon. I would rule.
Oh, it's a weapon.
Technically, it's therefore a weapon.
You literally can't not. The sword doesn't work. Hit it with the shield.
I'm gonna take a step back and not do my second attack. And I'm gonna yell, like it's spitting back the radiance.
How far do you step back?
Yell it.
Do you stay in like base to base with it, or do you move far away?
I'm gonna move closer to the door.
So you're leaving its range.
Mm.
Up to you.
No, not completely.
How far do you move away from the creature? The door is 15 feet from the creature.
Okay, I move like 10 feet.
10 feet. So you stay within 10 feet of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, so reach 10 feet. Right.
Anything else you want to do on your turn?
No, I've just yelled that out.
Cool.
Hopefully
It's
one
now
of
its
the
turn. Let's see. It is going to lash out with its so it's got these barbed tentacles all over it, and it is just gonna straight towards Nyah with these barbed tentacles.
Oh no.
Don't worry.
I feel this is worthy of the obsidian dice this entire combat. That's a 17 to hit.
No, I'm like
Shield.
See it coming, just throw your shield up and they like wrap around the shield, you wrench your arm back. Thrungi, it sees you and is going to coil up like a cobra essentially before crashing down on you with its mouth. Advantage on the attack because you went reckless. That is a 24 to hit. You're muted.
If it's trying to swallow me, do I get an athletics check to try and dive out of the way?
Nope. First of all,
you're gonna fight it.
swear I had 5d8 here. There it is. 11, 13, 20, 22, 30 points of piercing damage as the teeth slam into you. So half to 15.
Yeah.
You are smaller than large or smaller, so make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Like this. Oh, wait! Advantage.
You do have advantage.
The dice are the same. 21.
21. It crashes down on you and attempts to like throw you up, and you quickly like barrel roll out, just taking the teeth along the skin, and land up on your feet, ready to swing again. That is its turn. It is now Bellatar's turn. You're suddenly next to you, Thrungi, or just like the other side of the creature from you, not flanking per se, but like the opposite side of the room from it. You see him shift back in to the room, and yeah, is going to wow, he doesn't really have much he can do here. Yeah, he is going to just get very light on his feet and just goes, well, at least there's one of you willing to fight it properly. And it's just light on his feet there. He takes the dodge action as a bonus action.
Fun.
Something you're scared?
I'm taking personal offense with that.
After the turn, it is Faendal, your turn. Balthazar, you're on deck.
I will poke my head into the room, see that Nyah's struggling to do any damage with her holiness.
Too holy.
Hey, holy. I think we need to dirty you up a little bit. And I cast Polymorph on Nyah.
You what now?
You're gonna be an 8.
Nyah, are you
resisting it?
Nyah, are you willing?
7 HP extra.
Are you willing?
How do you announce this? Do I have time to like think about it?
Yeah, I'll be like, Nyah, I've got a solution. Go with it.
Okay, if he yells that, then I'll go with it.
you
Otherwise,
don't-
I wouldn't resist
You
it.
don't know that you're gonna turn into an imp.
I'm gonna be an 8. Okay, so I'll go with it. I'll trust Finn.
Normally I
Giant-
can't.
giant-
Normally I cast based on you.
Yeah, I'm gonna trust him, thinking he's gonna give me some like, I don't know,
haste or something like that.
cool powers.
All I'm thinking is, when you turn into the ape, you have 6 intelligence. Oh.
That's not too far off.
Seven, actually. Not that good.
What's my intelligence?
Anything else on your turn, Faendal?
And then I will hide back behind the door. I have not entered the room.
No, that's fine.
Can I still see the... Yeah.
You can see Nyah continuously backed up. You can just about see her.
I poked in the room, did it, and left the room again.
Yeah.
Conscious that I've been 20
Okay, so you retain your personality and direction, so you'll still be fighting the thing, but you just have 7 intelligence.
I hate you.
On the other hand, you have 26 strength and 157 HP. I'll send you the details now if you want.
Anyway, that's in your turn. Balthazar, you're up. Thrungi, you're on deck.
Yeah. Twice.
I'm aware that Faendal is going to be casting spells from the door and ducking back, so I'm going to sort of step into the room and move like 20 feet to one of the sides.
Just like back up against the far wall from it.
Yeah, just to split us 2 up.
You maintain concentration and stuff.
Then I'll cast
That
another
might be a rule. Get in. Need a ruling on those gaps. Foul of enmity still takes place.
Foul of enmity still in effect. You still lie. Also, we're getting an echo from you, Chris.
Okay.
As in, I can hear myself.
Oh, I'll just send you guys down then.
Balthazar, sorry, what were you doing?
Just
cast Ray of Frost.
Ray of Frost, make an attack roll.
Do you want
Math that I haven't done in a long time. 22?
22 hits.
Cool. 9 cold damage.
You see this ray of frost spam across and like freezes up part of the side, and the creature seems to react almost stronger than you thought it was going to. It seems like this creature is internal temperature and fire, and your cold is an anathema to that.
Even with 2 attacks, I can only cast 1 cantrip per turn, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Right.
Bonus actions?
That's it.
Thrungi, you're up.
Hit it.
Rambear, you're on deck.
25.
Hits.
10 points of damage.
Yep.
21.
Hits.
21 points of damage. Thrungi's literally. Is his mount still Thrungi? Like near Thrungi?
No, after like it tried to throw you up and you rolled out the way, so its head's now like back up here.
Oh, fine. Then let's just slam it into like the neck section where it like closest.
You this close can see like it has kind of broken through the floor above almost. You can make out like some ruined metal work around here that is kind of burrowed through. Roll me a perception check as well.
Can go well. Oh! Perception.
Yeah.
24.
24. You can also see a hole in the wall that is rent and torn, like it's been chewed through by a hot iron mouth essentially, and there is nothing beyond it.
I'll yell to our friend. You know how you were worried about us getting in? You got a hole in the wall there.
Yes, we'd figured they'd got in somehow. As he like continues being prepared to dodge. Rambear, Nyah, you're on deck. As Nick.
Alright, so as a bonus action, Rambear's gonna cast Shillelagh on the club that's just around.
Yep.
But we're not gonna do anything with that because we don't really want to get into melee range. And we're gonna do what we do best and conjure some pretty little animals.
Okay.
So I would like. Oof. Where is it? Let's do it to 11. Wait a second. Oh no, sorry, that's fine. Yeah. So I think. How tall is the room? It's got a gargantuan creature in.
Well, it's broken through part of the ceiling to be able to stand that tall.
Right. So it's not like.
It's
the room's
maybe
not that.
They are tall rooms, so it's probably about 15 foot tall.
Okay. Cool.
where the ceiling is still intact.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna summon two big old direwolves.
Cool.
I would like to do that in the room.
Sure.
The room.
Are you entering the room or are you just casting them? Summoning
Nope.
them
Staying out the room like a chicken.
in? Okay.
That's my turn.
Me and Rambear on either side of the door on the
Cool.
outside, just like, oh, win it.
Wolves? Lost you.
Sorry. We're gonna straight up try and attack this guy.
Yep.
So yeah, they're both gonna move forward together and make bite attacks. I don't know logistically how this will work. They've got small mouths, but let's see. So the first one has a 14 to hit.
14. It goes into attack and then like backs away from just how how hot the temperature is and second guesses itself.
Right. Gonna try again. Oh wait, they get advantage with pack tactics.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So it's still 14 for the first one, but then let's try the second one. Why is it rolling so many dice? It's doing the damage as well. Okay, that's 15 and a. So that's a 22 to hit.
That does hit. Roll damage.
That's 9 piercing damage. And is there something else with a bite? If the target is a creature, it must succeed on a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Is this one of those where Direwolf doesn't technically have like a size limit on its ability to drag creatures down?
Yes.
It's
No,
not
it does not have a size limit, apparently.
And I would quite like if this is the case.
Because I remember reading that at one point, and I was like, yeah, target is a creature. Okay, strength saving throw. That is a natural 20 for 28.
But it can be done. It can be done, guys.
He has to roll. He gets +8, so he has to roll a 4 or lower.
And
That's
this
a
thing
1-5
can
chance,
be
baby.
prone. I feel like, is this creature immune to prone?
You don't know.
Yeah. Oh, fair. Okay.
End of the wolves' turn. Nyah, you're up. You are a giant egg.
I'm gonna momentarily, I'm gonna look at my hands, which are now big and monstrous and not refined at all. And I'm gonna glare at Faendal.
You can't see me, I'm not in the room.
Well, I'm gonna glare at the door,
You're also a darkness that.
and I'll just charge at the big worm as an ape.
You have a +9 to hit. You have two choices. You can either throw a rock, which you get to do once, or do the better thing, which is punch it twice.
I would punch it twice.
Punch it twice. You have a +9 to hit.
Good. I roll a d20.
D20 +9.
That's a nat 20.
Oh, crit on the hit.
Sadly, you cannot slight that, but...
So for that attack, it doesn't matter. You do 6d10 +6.
A what now?
So you crit, so 6d10 +6.
Okay.
It be good. Don't worry,
20 plus 6.
you're a golden
29.
you're a golden ape.
29. I'm a gold ape.
You're a gold
Okay.
for
29 points of damage on the first attack.
Yep.
Jesus.
And then that's actually pretty low for 6d10.
Yeah, I had 2 1s and a 3.
6d10, you're at 29. And the second attack? +9 to hit.
Wait, so I get advantage.
You get advantage, yeah.
It's either 18 plus
+9 is 27.
Basically, do you get an
Or-
attack?
yeah, it's 8. So
Roll damage
27 to hit.
3d10 plus 6.
3d10. Altogether 9d10 +12.
16 plus 6.
22.
22.
51 points of damage.
gouts of like the chitin plate are like cracking underneath your fists, and the kind of lava blood starting to bubble out from underneath it. This thing's taking a lot of hits, but it's still pretty okay. On its turn, it's actually not that intelligent, so it's going to continue focusing on the things that are on it.
She is huge, so she is 15 foot by 15 foot.
Yeah.
Very distracted.
It is going to try and bite Thrungi again. And now another like set of tentacles starts coming out from one of the wounds that Thrungi has caused, and now it's got two writhing barbed tentacles. As I say, it's not intelligent, so it's going to be random. You've got Nyah, two wolves, and our Glassmask friend. So one wolf is getting a whip attack, and Balthazar is getting another one. So, wolf first. That is a 32 to hit the wolf.
Yeah, it was close, but it does hit.
8, 12. That was really low
pick
damage.
a number between 1 and 10.
23 points of piercing damage.
Pick a number.
Between 1 and 10. 6.
It doesn't matter. Any number. Okay. We'll do this one. 23 points of piercing damage.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it is grappled and restrained. Bellatar now gets attacked for not enough. He sees it coming and kind of dodges out the way as the witch slapped down and cracks and tilings underneath. Thrungi! That is a natural 20 on its bite attack.
Fuck you!
That's gonna hurt.
Oh no!
Don't forget your temp hit points
10,
from the spirit totem.
13. It's rolling shit ass damage though. 23, 27, 35 points of piercing damage. And make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Right, 35, so 17.
Yeah. 10d8 rolled 35. 10d8 plus 8.
16.
16. Nyah, you with your 8 brain there just see this mouth come straight down on Thrungi and Thrungi is gone.
What is it with him getting swallowed by gargantuan
Thrungi, you are blinded, you are restrained, you do have total cover.
Cool.
And yes, you are currently inside of it. Do as you will. It is then going to actually, having dealt with Thrungi, it can't actually move anywhere. Like, it is pinned into its corner at this point. For now. It is now Bellatar's turn. Having seen that happen, he is going to just, like, bring the sickle down, like, on its, like, loose chain around his wrist and unleash 2 attacks with this hook against the creature. He rolls shit and okay with 12 and a 27. Dealing 7 points of slashing damage and some psychic damage, which does nothing. It's almost like these guys are meant to deal with humanoids and not giant worm-like creatures. And you understand why. They probably haven't tried to fight this thing before. And once again, he will take a bonus action to dodge. That is his turn. Faendal, Balthazar, you're on deck. Faendal, you have no idea what just happened to Thrungi.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I'm gonna peek around the corner, and I'm gonna do a little elemental bolt.
Go
Pew
for it.
pew.
Make an attack.
What's that? Uh, 14.
14 does not hit. Just, like, you come around the corner and, like, while you're immune to fear, just an element of you is like, you rush the shot trying to get back out of the room and it just goes wide and scores off against one of the walls.
And
That ends Faendal's turn. Balthazar, you're up. Thrungi, you are on deck for whatever you want to do inside of the worm. You're muted, Stephen.
I'm perfectly comfortable to just keep spamming spells at it. There's
You're
like,
just hiding at the back of the room.
I've just stood there, just like, I'm just gonna roll.
Yeah, he's gone inside the room, is up against the back wall.
Yeah.
Me and Rambear do just feel like I'm not going in.
Well, I decided to split up away from you guys just in case it shoots something at us.
Yeah,
That it would not hit all three of us. Yeah, I can imagine it has some sort of lava, fire breath, something. 24 to hit.
That hits.
There's another 15 cold damage.
15?
Yeah, 3d8.
Again, you see, like, it begins to, like, you hit it solidly, it begins to, like, crack up part of its side, and you see that part kind of tense and stiff, and, like, an element of the heat in that area kind of seems to cool a little bit. Cold seems to be working.
Cool. I'm gonna shout that out to the room. Just use cold damage if you can. And that's my turn.
Thrungi!
I go reckless.
You are at disadvantage to attack because you are restrained, so reckless is a flat roll.
Yeah.
Just letting you know as well.
25.
25 hits, roll damage.
I don't do extra damage for being inside it, do I?
No, you don't.
Fine. 15.
15.
23.
Hits.
20.
And successfully keeps you down.
That's it. That's all I can do.
Rambear, you're up.
Yeah, not loving this whole situation with the lava worm there. Rambear's is about 25 feet away from the door.
No, it's about 10, 15 feet from the door.
Cool. I'm just, stepping into, like Faendal, just sort of like stepping out into the doorway. Not doing much. We're gonna thorn whip. We're just gonna thorn whip.
Sure.
Yeah. Indiana Jones, and then we pop out again. So that will be, well, we're gonna try and do that at least. It's a 22 to hit.
That does hit.
6. That's 10 points of, I think it's piercing damage.
Entering into the room. Yeah, you would be 15 feet from it. You're fine. You see as you like this, like part of its plating has become cracked and scarred at this point, and now like part of that hot blood is starting to spurt out from every attack, and like it cascades over and begins to sizzle on the floor.
Yeah, it's unpleasant. Thank you. Yeah, I don't want it to move closer though. If it can not move closer, that would be ideal.
Does it say? Well, there's the question of it.
I don't know if it says it. Oh no, it can't move. It can't move it closer to me because it's only if it's large or smaller.
No.
Good.
I was going to say, wouldn't make sense.
Happy coincidence.
End of Rambear's turn. Nyah, you are a giant ape. I'll add the wolves to the initiative.
Wolves can still. The wolves can still do this. It can still knock it prone. Is it attacking at disadvantage? Because it's one of them's restrained.
Yes, one of them is restrained, which gives it disadvantage, but it gets advantage. It's a flat roll.
Okay, so let's do that one first. Yeah, that one's not hitting. 8. And then I don't know why I click on different balls for this. What do we have? Oh, I'm sorry, I just rolled a hit die. It's a 42 on the hit die. No, not you. Okay. So I think the second one hits with a 22 as one of the rolls. I'm just gonna see if it's a 20. Very quickly. Let's see if it's a 20. And damage for that will be... Okay, fair. Piercing damage is 9.
9. The wolf, as it like bites in, the hot blood gushes into its mouth and the wolf squirms. It takes 5 points of fire damage.
Can we have a strength saving roll, please?
Quite low, 15.
Bah!
What even happens if you knock it for?
Probably nothing.
You don't know. Nyah, your turn.
Because I saw Thrungi get swallowed, I'm gonna punch, but close the. I can reach close to the mouth, like, kind of like I'm hoping that if I punch it hard enough. Yeah, I don't know. I'm wiser than I am as Nyah.
Start wailing away. Roll your attacks.
You want to make it raw?
But yeah, I feel like it's quite simple logical.
Yeah.
He swallowed Thrungi, I punch mouth.
Yeah.
Thrungi fell out.
The
Like-
mouth is quite high up, so you're gonna have to clamber up it a little bit to this, like King Kong style. But
You just have a climb speed.
Oh, I'll do that.
make attack rolls.
Found it. Maybe you get not combatant.
So it's either a 4 + 9 or an 8 + 9, which is
17.
does a 17 hit?
It does not hit. Like
Okay,
you
I'll-
crash against its face, and just like shrugs it off entirely.
I'll try with a second punch. It's either a 3 + 9 or a 15 + 9.
That does hit. Roll damage.
That is 28 + 6, was it?
28 + 6. 34.
You
34.
take 10 points of fire damage as you punch it in the face, and the blood cascades over you. This thing is starting to look quite beat up at this point. But is that the end of your turn now?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna like stay there.
Yeah.
Hanging from its neck.
At the top of its turn, Thrungi, you take 6, 12, 22, 27 points of fire damage.
So
13.
13.
14. Sorry, you round up.
Do you?
Yeah.
Right.
D&D always rounds up.
Always round down, but fine.
You take 34 points of fire damage and are still restrained. On its turn, as I say, it's been taking wounds. Another set of tentacles start coming out. Currently, there are 4 creatures around it. It has 4 attacks. It's going to start with the tentacles and see where it ends up. So, tentacles, first of all, one against each of the wolves. The one that's already been grappled by its tentacles, those like barbs dig in. For 31 to hit on that wolf.
Sorry, which one?
The one that was already restrained.
Yeah.
10.
Oh, can it try and get out of restraint?
It can try and get out of the grapple as an action. And the grapple is
yeah.
part of the restraint, so it would have to do it as an action. 10, 15, 18, 22 points of piercing damage to that wolf.
Whoa. Yeah, it's still there.
Oh, okay, these wolves are tough. Second tentacles goes after the other wolves with 26 to hit. Oh wait, no, sorry.
Hit.
Add another 8 damage to that dire wolf. Forgot to add the 8.
Right, what's the total?
It was 22, so 30. And then this dire wolf, 10, 18, I say 26 to that second dire wolf. And it is also restrained now. Knowing that Nyah is too large for its bite, it's going to try and gobble up Balthazar. Just because that's the smart thing to do. Well, it's the only obvious thing for it to do. But Bellatar did take the dodge action, so this is at disadvantage, which avoids the natural 20, but it's still a 26 to hit him. So Bellatar gets the bite. 15, 20, 27 plus 8 is 35. That's quite a lot of his hit points, and he has to make a dexterity saving throw. Bellatar gets swallowed as well. He has got a super high dex and rolled a 3. You just see him get swallowed. And then its final set of whips attacks, because it's kind of annoyed at you, Nyah, to be honest. It's got the other 2 restrained, it's going to try and restrain you.
That makes sense.
22 to hit.
What's 22?
12.
12. 10. Not a lot of damage. 15 points of piercing damage, and you are grappled and restrained as a giant ape.
That's rude.
That means you get this attacks.
At the end of the worm's turn, it is Bellatar's turn. He does a thing that none of you can see, and that is his turn. Faendal, you're up. Balthazar, you're on deck.
I just received 41 health left on me, like, oh, it's terrible. No, 141. Great. Yeah, that is fine.
You're breezing this fight, to be honest. Once you realised that radiant damage was a no-go, you kept away from it quite smartly.
I'm up, yeah?
Yep. Balthazar, you're on deck.
My third Balthazar shout, cold damage is good. Rather than leaving it up to chance, I'm going to get my staff. I'm just going to 5 more light around it. Twist them into little icicles and shoot a magic missile at 3rd level. And the middle one, we'll collect them, so there's 4 little icicles circling. The one in the middle grows. It's quite a big icicle.
Nice,
I'm
go
going to
for it.
amplify it. So 3rd level magic missile with an amplified. That's going to be 5 d4. 5. That's 18 cold damage. Plus that amplified stuff, because that isn't a spell I'm casting. I can't switch that to cold cast. That's always what. Cool. It has an extra oomph behind it. That's 18 cold and 9 force, so 27 total. 18 cold, 9 force.
You see the bolts of cold energy like cracking, following up that line that Balthazar has already made, and it's like starting to form. It's almost like glacier. This form is so big, just along its side, and it lets out a scream of primal wrongness, to be honest, of an eldritch scream as this ice kind of cracks up its side and begins to cool it down from the inside.
Then I will go back to the door.
Balthazar, your turn.
I'm gonna roll another Ray of Frost at it.
Cool.
For 13 to hit.
That misses. Just with all the chaos going through, you let go and just glances off one of the things as you go through. Thrungi,
Swing!
you are still restrained. Are you going reckless?
Yeah, every time.
Yeah.
14.
Misses.
How can it miss? I'm inside it.
Misses. You are just like, you're trying to swing and this one just gets caught.
It's not just missing, like it could just like not be doing the damage, like it just isn't piercing or anything.
This one, like, you go to swing and the axe gets caught on like a piece of like sinewy muscle and just doesn't pull through, so you like have to repivot.
That's better. 25.
Remember, it's a flat roll.
Yeah, I am doing a flat roll.
Just checking.
I rolled it and it got caught between the metal D20 and the side.
That's fine. I was just reminding you. How much damage?
18.
18 points of damage. At the end of Thrungi's turn, Balthazar and Faendal and Rambear, you hear from behind you the buzzing drone and scuttling of creatures you have dealt with before coming from the corridor that you hadn't been down. So you're essentially a corner corridor, and it veers up the other way. Coming from down there, you can hear the drone coming down. Can you both please make... I've got to remember... Constitution saving throws.
Do they have to be?
16.
Ooh! Just the... Oh, it's strength from the better a minute. 14.
14. And Rambear?
16.
16. You both shrug off the thrum as it attempted to kind of charm you towards it and continue fighting. But these things begin to come down and get rolled into initiative.
Oh no!
Well, yeah, that's fine. And... Cool. Rambear, you are up.
From the sound of the buzzing, how close are the creatures behind us?
About 20 feet from you.
20 feet. Okay, yeah, we're gonna turn around and we're gonna cast Thorn Whip again. We're trying to sell it.
So as you spin around and notice this, there's one of the insectoid, like, buzzy things with the sides, and there's 3 more of the, like, spider-like insect ones that are along the floor.
Buzzy boy, let's go.
Buzzy boy?
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
Nat 20, baby.
Go for it. Badass.
Crit damage, baby. It's 22 points of whatever Thorn Whip is. Damage.
Strictly, the spell says you pull the creature 10 feet towards you, but...
Yeah, that's fine.
Pull it 10 feet towards you? Cool.
I mean, I don't want to, really, but it's fine.
Still 10
I just
feet
did
from you
22.
at that point, so it's not directly next to you. But bear in mind, they have rolled into initiative. Just their arrival was the equivalent of a lair action.
Yeah.
Just to bear that in mind. Cool.
Oh, wait,
else?
and I want a bonus... Oh, no, I can't. Cantrip and a spell? Is a bonus action spell? Can I do that?
Yes, because Thorn Whip was a cantrip. If the spell is a bonus action, you can cast the spell.
Yeah, I'd like to. It's not going to do much, but I'm going to Healing Word at Nyah.
She's a giant ape with 140 odd hit points.
But she's got the ape's hit points, I forgot about that. Oh,
Yeah,
then
she's
Balthazar,
got
it's a lucky day. Get 5 whole hit points back.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I know. Cut front of over.
Wolves. Both are restrained, so both are at disadvantage, but they have pack tactics, so they're at flat roll. M? Wolves?
Sorry, I forgot about the wolves. Flat rolls.
Flat rolls.
Okay, sorry. I think it's just +5 to hit. I'm just gonna do it like this. So that's does a 16 hit?
It does not.
Nope. Then I think neither of them. +5, yeah, neither hit.
Just they're like restrained, trying to bite down, and they can't really get a full-on purchase to sink their teeth in. At the end of Wolf's turn, it is Buzzy McBuzzerson's turn. He was pulled 10 feet forwards. He is going to do the thing that he likes to do. Within 15 feet, Nyah was in full cover. So just Rambear and Faendal, can you both make me Constitution saving throws? Yep, he would do this because he doesn't know you're immune to poison, and therefore he would do this. Therefore, it is irrelevant. He wastes his time.
Oh, okay.
You can make the saves if you want, as the crystal thus spews up, but nothing will happen to you.
I would have been at 17.
At the end of his turn, it is the crawler's turn because they rolled an 11. Not 11. He rolled an 11. They rolled an 8. So they descend upon you. One on each of you, and the other one is on Rambear. So 2 on Rambear, 1 on Faendal. The ones on Rambear get advantage because they're within 5 feet of each other because they get pack tactics. So this is going to be a lot of attacks at you, Rambear. Bite hits. Claw hits. Second claw doesn't hit. Tail hits. We'll resolve that. Bite. Claw. Tail. 2, 5, 4 is 9 plus 6. 15 points of damage from the first one attacking at you, Rambear. Make 3 concentration checks for your wolves. All DC 10 as I swing the other one's attacks at you. Bite hits. Crit on a claw. Second claw hits. Crit on the tail.
I make all the concentrations.
You're going to be making 4 more saves in a second. Bite. Crit claw. Standard claw. Crit tail. 10, 15, 17, plus 8, 25 points of damage and 4 more concentration checks. As these ones just start clambering over you, you're trying to maintain focus and are just pinned underneath all of these talons and bites and tails just stabbing through you.
Made all the checks.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
And then the one that is on you, Faendal. Due to your positioning, they would get advantage as well, because it's just within 5 feet of one of their allies.
But they get disadvantage from a club.
Until they hit, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so first attack is a 20 to hit, dirty 20.
Neutral.
That's neutral.
Oh,
and now
yeah,
the attacks are advantage, but the right advantage anyway. So the first one hits, second one hits, third one is a 16.
Yeah, it's gone.
Fourth one also hits. Full suite of attacks, but no crits. 5, 10, 14 plus 8 is 22 points of damage to you, Faendal, and 4 concentration checks on Polymorph.
28 damage, did you say?
28 damage, no, 24 damage.
Are we in reach of the battle?
Yes. Yeah, Rambear would have. Yeah, Rambear put it in the door, so you definitely are.
How much was that?
17 temporary hit points.
17. I'm down to -7.
And 4 concentration checks.
Just like it's gonna fail. That's a 6. First one fails, it drops.
Rambear, Nyah, you are no longer a giant ape.
I'm sorry, I thought it was a solid tactic. I was like,
From its neck.
I can just hide in here.
That is the end of their turns. Nyah, it is your turn as you suddenly back down to your form. You like fall off it a little bit, but like catch yourself and she'll like roll up, land up on your feet right next to this thing in your human form again. So currently around it are you, the 2 wolves, and that's all you can see.
Okay. Let me see what I can do. Wait. There really isn't much I can do.
Maybe with Shield of Faith in yourself so you get more AC. Or haste. But if you're not scared about the dropping the thing.
Okay, well, in my mind, I can't like attack it.
You can't attack it, you will take the same amount of damage.
Oh, I mean, all my HP is gone. That's sad.
What are you doing, Nyah?
I'm gonna try. I'm not grappled by it anymore, am I?
No, your form shrunk such that the tentacles would no longer be grappling you. So yeah, you got free of the restraint from this. So, right side. This thing has got hundreds of wounds in it at this point. It is looking pretty beaten up. It's still large and fighting, but it's taken a decent amount of damage.
Okay, I'm just gonna attack it once. Then
Okay.
I'm gonna
Roll attack.
see what I can do. So it's either a 23 or a 22. 23 to
You hit. Roll damage and tell me the two outputs.
Okay, it's 11 slashing.
Yeah.
And 4 radiant.
Both wolves and Nyah take 4 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
Nyah, you also take 2 points of fire damage as you cleave into it and its hot blood kind of like gashes over you and begins to sizzle and burn your skin.
Okay. I'll attack it again. Might as well. Either 19 or 19.
19 does hit. Roll damage.
That's 8 slashing and 7 radiant.
Nyah and the two wolves each take 7 radiant damage, and Nyah, you take another 7 points of fire damage as well as you slash through. Is that the end of your turn now? Do you want to move? Do you want to action?
Yeah, I'll move away towards the door.
How far away?
Until I'm like right at the door.
You're at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you're leaving, it lashes out with its tentacles at you. For a 26 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
So you only get 10 feet away before you are grappled and restrained within 10 feet of it. And take 12, 15 plus 8, 23 points of piercing damage. Just slapping right into your skin. Your new dress is getting quite torn up. This thing is barred and everything. End of Nyah's turn. It is the worm's turn, which means Thrungi, you take 8, 10, 15 points of fire damage, halved to 8. No, it must be round down, because I always say round to 7.
Yeah.
Gain another hit point, go to 7.
I'll take
I think it's supposed to be round up in general, because 1 round's to 1.
Yeah.
But you've always done round down.
Yeah. Round
because
down.
Matt Mercer, as bad as it sounds, Matt Mercer always rounds down.
I've always rounded down. I don't know where round up suddenly come from in my head. It's round
I think D&D meant
We'll
to
check
round
later.
up.
It's round down.
But yeah.
But that is just at the start of its turn. It now has 3 whips, all of which are being used. 2 are on the, 1 is on the wall, on the wall, so they have to go against you 3. They have advantage because you are restrained. So the one on Nyah isn't great. Still hit on a 24, but rolled an 11. 10, 14, 17 plus 8. 25 points of piercing damage. On the first wolf, that'll hit.
Dead wolf.
18 plus 7, 25 plus 8, 33 points of piercing damage on that wolf.
Had Nyah not been quite so brutal, that wolf might have still been alive.
Second wolf, a
R.I.P.
20 to hit.
It hits.
10, 15, 19 plus 8, 27 points of piercing damage to that second wolf.
Ah, yeah. Both are gone.
These tentacles are now free to attack whatever they want, and it still has its bite attack. With the wolves gone, and Nyah up there, it can shift. So it is going to move towards the creature that has been trying to freeze it to death and bite them. Hi, Balthazar. How you doing, big buddy?
Maybe
That was so nearly a natural 20.
Oh, come on.
It's a 15 plus 13 for 28, though.
Yeah, that hits.
So it still hits. God damn it. Fine, I'll just roll 10, 18, 23, plus 8. 31 points of piercing damage, and can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
31.
31.
10 with this saving throw.
It roars back up as Balthazar is swallowed into the worm.
No.
Now Balthazar and Thrungi are both inside the worm.
As is the elf bloke.
The elf bloke is not, because suddenly, next to... where would he come out? I mean, the worm is his ultimate objective, so yeah, he's going to go after the worm. He appears up behind the worm, sickle in hand, like on the back of it, not inside it, and begins hacking through it. It's almost like he can do magic. Both attacks are going to hit. Sadly, the psychic damage does fuck all. 6 plus 8, 14 points of damage he does. And he stays like hanging on there, the hook in it, and he's like holding on, like trying to ride it, essentially. That is the end of his turn. Faendal.
Yes.
You have one of these creatures just stabbing, one of the small skittering creatures stabbing the hell out of you.
Ow! It hurt a lot. I should probably not do another concentration.
Up to you.
No, you want to.
What are you doing?
How many
Balthazar,
are around?
there are three of the little things, one of the flying buzzy things, and the worm inside.
Okay. Would I be able to hit them with an area of effect spell and not me and Rambear?
Are you trying to use a fireball here?
Essentially.
No. They are directly on you, and there's enough space that you would maybe catch 2 of them.
If I centered it on us, it would go boom, get all of them.
Definitely. No doubt.
How fragile are these guys again?
The little crawler things, pretty fragile.
They're very fragile. I remember them being quite fragile.
They'll go down relatively quickly. Buzzy things have got a decent amount of health, but Rambear's done a crit on one, so...
That's stupid.
Balthazar, you're on deck, by the way, inside the worm.
But my other spell that I'm going to do is also not great.
Come on, what are you doing, Faendal?
Alright. Yeah, I got to think in character and stuff. I wouldn't do anything to do with that. I'm thinking myself. So I'm going to have to... Fireball. Do you trust me, Rambear?
Yeah, it's crazy Faendal.
I'll make it good on us. So, do these guys have any weaknesses that we know of? Or is it not fire? Can't do fire.
That is indeed correct. You notice that any raw flames are instantly extinguished. This creature doesn't bleed fire, so that's why it's fine.
Tell you what. I will... It's a weird thing. So I'm going to do 2 things on it. It's going to be forced. I'm boring and I want to make sure it works.
Yep.
So that wall of force in my hand. But it doesn't hit the body. It hits the mind.
You're doing intelligence saves?
Wisdom saves. I know that Rambear is wise.
Okay.
And I am. So for the best chances, I'm going to go...
We have advantage on strength saves. If that's
yeah,
one
my strength save is a -1. My wisdom save is a +8.
One of the crawlers saves. Everyone else fails.
I got a nat 20 on my save. Very good.
27.
27.
Not
So
quite
you're
now.
both taking half this force damage. All of these creatures, while one of the crawlers is taking full damage. So how much force damage is it?
Pretty good. That's 32.
Half of 32
essentially like
is 16. One of them
Ball
is
of
still
migraine. Is a ball of migraine.
ball of migraine. Well, it's not quite because it's force damage. It's a ball of exploding your from the skull
yeah.
outwards. Yeah, like you see a couple of them just like begin to shake and just detonate across. The one that's buzzing kind of like buzzes and twitches like that before regaining its project. One of them half explodes and begins leaking blood from all over Orish's, but still like standing upright. And it's the one on you, Faendal, actually, and just like.
Oh. Can I tell it to fuck off?
You can. Doesn't understand you. Balthazar, you're up. You are inside a worm.
I'm going to use a bonus action to cast Divine Dew to give me 14. Yeah, 14
Sure.
temporary hit points. And then I'm going to. Yeah, my sword's already had its cold uses come up, so I'm just going to cast another Ray of Frost.
Cool. You are at
Ah.
disadvantage because you're
Whatever.
restrained and it's a range attack at melee, but make the attack.
Oh, that's only a 2 to hit, +9.
Just like
I
that.
want
Doesn't
it to
hit, like,
work.
you try to get
Not
it,
hit.
like, you can't quite get the somatic components together to unleash the spell, and you just stay there. Thrungi,
Swing.
straight rolls. Let's go.
18.
Just hits.
10.
10 points of damage.
19.
Hits.
11 points of damage.
Not enough to make it have to roll. Interesting. Okay, that's fun. At the end of Thrungi's turn, it like begins to convulse, and just begins to vomit like convulsively across the room, just magma blood out all over the room. You guys feel it like convulsing on the inside as it like pulses and squeezes, but doesn't push you out. Only the people in the room get affected by this, which is Nyah and Balthazar. Can you both roll me dexterity saving throws, please?
Okay. I'm grappled, though, so I have to let me know.
You are restrained, which means you have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
That's it.
Balthazar.
My roll was fine anyway.
Balthazar just succeeds. Nyah, what do you roll?
11.
11. Okay.
Roll 9. We put that high.
I want to be an ape again.
It was good, wasn't it? I like it.
Thank you.
It's nice when you're in it, because I don't have to worry about taking damage. When I'm in it, every time I take damage, it makes sure.
Wow.
I want to be an ape again.
11, 18, 24, 31, 39. 49 points of fire damage to you, Nyah. 24 to Balthazar. Who just, yeah, like this whole room suddenly becomes filled with almost like a slightly less viscous lava. And it begins to like eat away at the floor a little bit.
I think I am dead. I just wasn't inside.
Rambear, your turn. Wolves is up.
Right, yeah, no wolves. It's a shame. Yeah, I'm gonna just, corner of my mouth whisper, little healing word to Faendal. And you're gonna get, wait for it, 6 hit points back.
It's summoned.
Okay, that's exactly what you needed then. And I'm actually, I haven't done it in a really long time, so I'm gonna try and bop one of the guys in front of us.
So you've got big buzzy dude and nearly dead
Yeah.
thing that's on Faendal.
Oh, we're gonna try and baseball bat this.
What, the tiny little
Oh.
thing?
You probably kill that. That's like gonna be dead.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best idea. Yeah, we're gonna like try and hit it. Hopefully not hitting Faendal in the process.
Sure, make an attack roll.
14.
That hits.
Okay.
What's the damage on it? 1d8 plus 4.
That's max damage, 12.
You go to like batter swing this, and you put your entire bear weight behind it. Probably get the hip rotation in and everything, and it would go flying down the corridor if you didn't just batter it into pieces as it started flying.
It'd have been nice if I could have done a little bit of bludgeoning damage on something that it hit, but that's fine.
Yeah, you know, it hits the buzzing thing in the wing as it goes past and deals
1 whole point.
2 points of damage.
D4.
Well, it was a D2.
Oh.
But
I'll take it. Thank you.
just because it's cool and it was max damage on something that had 5 hit points. Min damage killed it. You did max. So, anything else on your turn?
No, I think I'm quite happy to cower with Faendal away.
Cool. It is now Buzzy McBuzzersons, who is annoyed that the spores didn't work, is going to... How badly do you look, Faendal?
I look actually fairly okay.
Okay.
Especially after
it doesn't
that
think it can take you down then, so it's going to do 2 on the creature it just saw batter one of its people and Thorn Wimped it, and 1 talent attack on Faendal. So the 2 on Rambear is a 21 to hit and
It hits.
14 to hit.
It does not hit.
You take 9 points of slashing damage. Faendal, a 14 to hit you.
Disadvantage.
Correct. A 14 to hit you.
I can't heal.
Cast shield comes down on the talon at the last minute, bounces off. You hear like something crack as it bounces off you. Like the sheer force came in, snapped a bone, and it snapped away. That's the end of its turns. The crawlers are all dead. Nyah, you're up.
I'm gonna try and break free by attacking it. I guess
I'm gonna try and break free by killing the fucking thing. Go for it. Make your attacks. So Valve Empty gives you advantage. You are restrained, so disadvantage. It's a single roll.
Okay. $24.
Hits. Roll damage.
Oh. I just realized something.
8 points of slashing damage.
It's slashing damage, and I'm a fucking idiot because this is gonna kill me now.
What is video?
Yeah, and that's 5 points of radiant
Nyah and
damage.
Balthazar each take 5 points of radiant damage, and it just reflects back off the carapace, blasts into Nyah's face, and you see her go limp in the tentacles.
You stop
Before she can
dying!
get out of the second attack. She is not
I-
dead.
yeah,
She is
I'm a
simply
fucking idiot.
unconscious. However,
In the talons of this thing.
it is the worm's turn next. So, worm's turn. Top of it, the 2 people who are currently swallowed by it each take 66 fire damage.
Mouth, how's he gonna save me?
Nyah.
12.
I just killed myself
Alright.
now.
18 points of fire damage to Balthazar and Thrungi. Both of you halve that to 9. See, it's the best people to be swallowed.
Okay. In fact, I
its
wouldn't know
turn.
exactly how. Oh,
You could try to escape. It is stupid.
It is
She's
stupid,
already
but at
got
the same
limited
time, it
time.
has unconscious food in its grasp.
Oh. I was gonna say could throw it, but yeah, you've got a point. It might want to eat you.
the part. Well, I mean, the part.
Yeah, so it's unconscious metallic food. It doesn't feel like food. The other 2, they're naked.
Did it? Yeah. Did
Nyah
it eat the wolves?
literally attacked it. It's not that.
Yeah, but there's robots in the place.
This is what this thing would do.
Yeah,
It
no,
puts
I
in
didn't
its
do
mouth.
good. I deserve this.
Nyah, you fail 2 death saves because you take the damage from the bite attack. And then it's going to unleash 2 tentacle attacks on Bellatar, because it's the only one who's in the room. Actually, no, because it could move, and Faendal was the last one to pop his head through the door, so it could do a tentacle attack on Faendal.
Yeah, but it can't see me.
I've got all of that from the dead.
Tell you what, I'll give it a perception check. That's a
it's got tremor.
That's a natural 19 with a 60-foot tremor sense.
Yeah.
So 1 tentacle attack on you, 1 on Bellatar. The one on Bellatar is a nat 1. He's just like pirouettes and dives out the way. On you, it's flat. It's at advantage because.
Has it got? What's its plus?
13 to hit.
Oh, I've got shield up though.
You do have shield up. It does have advantage because you were hit with an attack, but shield specifies it can force an attack to miss. Correct?
Yeah.
So it's a disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
That is an 8 plus 13 for 21.
Yeah. If I don't have shield up, it automatically hits.
11, 18, 28 points of piercing damage, Faendal, and you are grappled and restrained. And that is the end of its turn. It is Bellatar's turn. He is going to make 2 attacks against it as the only thing standing there.
Please kill me.
Literally. You must think we're so useless.
Both attacks hit.
We've gone in. 2 of us haven't even gone in, and the rest have been eaten.
That's 5 is 13. He also takes 11. Bellatar goes unconscious. His 2 attacks, the fire cascades onto him and he falls unconscious in the grass where he was. Actually, no, his attacks would have been a disadvantage. No, he wasn't grappled. Never mind. Yeah, Bellatar is currently unconscious.
This is going so well.
What's the range? How close is everybody? Of interest.
To you, everyone is within 30 feet of you.
Cool, good.
Faendal, it's your turn. Balthazar, you're on deck.
Yeah, but you can't see the people that are inside, so you can't see Nyah.
No, but I have a different thing.
Oh, okay.
It's a much higher level, but
Faendal,
it's necessary.
Balthazar, you're on deck.
Okay. Things are going to hit.
I will say this is on a knife edge.
Okay.
What are you doing, Faendal?
I'm on the other side of the door, aren't I?
You are standing in an open doorway, currently grappled and restrained.
Am I in the doorway?
Yes, for all
Very important. Am I enough in the room, or am I more out?
You're more out.
So if I transformed, I would be out of the room.
Yes.
And too big for the doorway.
Or you could try and break through the doorway afterwards.
Yeah, but
you were specifying you were standing outside the doorway and the grapple doesn't pull you.
Alright. No, that'll kill you guys when if he gets fouled. Alright.
What are you doing? Come on.
I'm gonna nuke it. I'm gonna nuke it with a fireball of cold.
The big worm, yeah?
Yeah. Well, there's no one else, is there?
No.
One of the big fuzzy things still near me, is a big fuzzy thing?
He is near you, but he's not gonna do anything.
But I've just been grabbed by a tentacle, so I'm like,
that is a dexterity save of 9. It's a giant worm. It doesn't dodge shit.
That's 34.
34 what damage?
Old.
How do you want to do this?
Giant ice spike. Big, like a javelin of ice.
I'll tell you what, just because I feel this is correct, you are restrained, Fireball has somatic components. Make me a concentration check, DC 10.
Concentration?
Concentration. You are physically restrained trying to do somatic components. DC 10, flat roll.
It's you. And
goes off. You are there, and it is tough. Like, as you're doing it, you can feel like the barbs, the tentacles dragging down your arms as you do it. But you grit your teeth just enough to unleash this spell against the creature, summoning a gigantic stalagmite of ice that just goes rocketing across, burying into the head of this creature, carving it through it, caving in the skull, just as like segmented pieces it cracks through. The hot blood goes gushing out and freezes upon contact with this giant spike of ice. The spike goes crashing into the wall before shattering, the shards bedding into the rest of the body of this creature as it thrashes about completely headless, cascading blood everywhere. And it just...
The tentacles.
Yeah, tentacles just completely let go as it's thrashing about. Bellatar is like battered by it as he's unconscious, but perfectly fine. And then it just, in its death, eventually falls dead on the floor.
I'll turn to the last of the guy and just tell him to run.
That ends your turn. Balthazar, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
I'm gonna crawl out.
Okay.
What do I see on the way out?
You fall prone in the space of the creature. You use 20 feet of movement to exit out.
Does he see Nyah on his way out?
You do... Yeah, you would find Nyah on your way out. Like, you would find the form of Nyah slightly further up the gullet as you climb out. Not moving.
Can I cast Healing Word on Nyah?
Yes, you can.
Sweet.
Is that all your spells?
I've got 1/3 level left.
Just in
5
case.
hit points.
Nyah, you're on 5 hit points. There is hot lava blood everywhere. You will need to think about that. That's all I'm saying. Bellatar is currently lying in it.
Right away.
I'll grab Bellatar's body and move as far as I can towards the
You've
exit.
got just enough movement to essentially get to him and hoist him up on your shoulder. You are standing in fire. You take
I hold it, like, cool it down.
It starts cooling.
Temporarily.
It starts cooling. You take 1 point of fire damage, by the way. Just from standing in the fire. Thrungi, you use your movement to crawl out prone.
Oh no, I don't do that. I use my axe to open up a hole in its neck and climb out of that.
Okay, it's still the equivalent same thing, but you just instead of climbing out the long neck bit that Balthazar pulled Nyah out of, you just see like coming out the side just and then you realise it's dead.
I hit it with my axe one more. Actually, can I go to the head and take the head?
The head is shattered. It took an ice spike to the head. The head doesn't exist.
That's a drinking cup.
It's far too large for that. Even if it still existed.
In the picture, the head is the size of a house.
Thrungi knows how big it is. He doesn't care. He still wanted it as a drinking cup.
That is the end of your turn, Thrungi. Rambear, there's still a buzzing insect in front of you trying to kill you.
I have just told it to fuck off. I just have to understand things.
You need
Thrungi see before I end my turn, because I assume I've just used my normal movement to get out.
You used half your movement to get out and technically come out prone, so you can basically just stand up again.
That's fine. Would I see anything that makes me want to run outside?
Roll a perception check.
14. 15 even.
You're aware there's something going on outside. You can use your action to dash if you want.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to find out, if there was a logical reason for Thrungi to...
You dash out, like push past Faendal to come face to face with the creature. End your turn there. Rambear.
Cool.
You Thorn Whip it?
I don't know why I don't do this more often.
Is
21 to hit?
Thorn Whip technically a ranged attack?
It's a very good question. Is that
It's a melee spell attack against a creature that has 30 foot of range. So no, you're perfectly fine. You're not at a disadvantage.
Good. so good.
Bad. Yeah, not bad. I think until Gethin ran it last week. 13 damage.
13 damage.
It means it's a range attack that you get advantage on when someone's prone as well.
Yeah. Anything else on your turn?
Oh yeah, what's his face? Yeah. Let's healing word. Thank you. It's too close to Balthazar.
How much does he get?
Healing word will give him not a lot. I'm not a genie here, but 8 actually, more than I've given everyone else.
8. On the emissary's turn, it's just going to unleash a full round of attacks against you and then try to run away.
You should have said "buzz off."
Does a 16 hit you?
No.
Okay, only 1 attack hits them. 9 points of slashing damage and begins to try and buzz away from you. You can have an attack of opportunity if you want it. And so can Thrungi, because you did get there with your action to dash.
Yeah. I assume I can't go reckless.
Yeah, Faendal would as well. All 3 of you can have an attack of opportunity.
My staff
You can't go reckless. Reckless you define at the top of your turn.
Doesn't matter, it's a 21.
Sorry, Chris, what did you ask? Brain roll damage?
Technically a quarterstaff?
Yes.
A pathetic 10.
Faendal?
Efficient. 12 to hit.
Doesn't hit. Rambear?
Yeah, also 12.
Doesn't hit, and it just begins to try and buzz away slowly. Nyah, you are conscious. Currently
In fiery blood.
She's on the worm's body at the minute, so she's not in the blood. But she'll have to be aware of that as she steps out.
Okay, I'm gonna gasp awake and I'm gonna look around. Do I see anyone? Like, what do I see when I look around?
Essentially, the floor is lava. There is a corpse of a giant worm. Balthazar has a just about conscious glass mask hoisted over his shoulder. Everyone else seems outside. You can also see a hole in the wall that leads to a void of nothing. And some ruined metal and other work in here.
He's dying, that's fine. They don't need me.
I'm just gonna say that. Just
I'll
Take a breather.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk towards Balthazar.
Before the floor is lava, remember?
Oh yeah.
Maybe don't go on the floor while you've got 5 HP.
Yeah, heal yourself
Okay,
a little bit.
Maybe I'll lay on hands myself this time.
how much do you lay on hands?
Yeah.
How
much do you have? 25?
I have 20 left.
You have 20 left.
I don't know if I should go full or.
Maybe leave 2 or 3 just in case.
Yeah, I'm gonna give myself 10.
10. And then you start to walk out the room towards Balthazar?
Do you have any potions?
I will. What's the closest I can get to Balthazar without getting off the worm's corpse?
Not much further than where you are currently.
Oh. Okay, I'll.
Do you know what would be super extra? Starlight Barrier.
I'm so here for that.
Misty Step.
Oh, Misty Step! Yeah, just teleport.
Wait, let me see what level.
Misty Step out the room. It's less than 30 feet, isn't it? To the doorway. It's like 15, you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could Misty Step out the room.
Yeah, I'm gonna step out the room.
It's not as extra as walking on Starlight, though.
It's not. It's not as
No,
extra.
but I want to get it here as soon as possible,
She's
so I'm just gonna be like, right.
And then next to you, Rambear, suddenly there is a just about alive Nyah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hand her some potions.
And I think there is where we will end it for tonight. You have successfully just about completed your mission for the library. And we will see what happens next.
think we need a rest.